In this Cotswolds series, I promise to show you our visits not only to the popular tourist hotspots of England's famous Cotswolds AONB, but also the out-of-the-way, less crowded locations, those somewhat hidden gems which might often be overlooked, but which offer gorgeous views of nature, lovely old buildings, cute animals, and of course, delicious food. In this video, we will recap our May 2021 visit to Miserden, a less crowded village in Gloucestershire that is just 4 miles from Stroud. Miserden is a family-run estate with over 800 acres of dramatically rolling woodlands, carefully tended gardens, a stately manor house, and a charming village that is a joy to wander through. We have visited countless manor houses and gardens, but one thing that struck me as different about Miserden is just how steeply rolling the Cotswold hills around it are. From the manor house, you can view the dramatic topography of the River Frome Valley. It is a beautiful sunny bank holiday Monday in late May, and we are sitting here with some noisy sheep on the Miserden, possibly Miserden estate. We forgot to ask how to pronounce this place. We're excited to explore the gardens today. Major Tom Wills, Miserden's current owner, has expertise and a keen passion for forestry, which is evidenced in the lovely Woodland Walk that meanders through the 3,000-acre estate. The estate is surrounded by forest, which was harvested during World War II to be used in the construction of aircraft. Deer statues with real sheep noisily bleating in the background. Hopefully it'll show up, but there are these white blossoms on this tree, and they're the strangest thing, because they're all over the tree. They're dangling like tissues. I've never seen flowers like this. The petals are really large like the leaves, but they just dangle down. I'm standing here next to this wishing well, and this is just the most peaceful garden. It's just so tranquil and serene being here, even though this is a really busy holiday when all the Britons are out celebrating the beginning of summer and the end of lockdown and the end of horrible rainy weather on this bank holiday. But this place is not packed. There are still very few people here, so you can wander around the gardens and it's just so peaceful and beautiful. Miserden Estate was mentioned in the Domesday Book in 1086 and originally included a castle which is now a ruin. While the original owners were the Musard family, from whose name Miserden was derived, the current owners are Major Tom Wills and his family. The manor house we see today was built in the 1620s with expansions added later. One fun note is that you can stay at an Airbnb in a wing of the home. I'll include a link to that in the description. The garden at Miserden has won awards such as the 2018 recognition of Garden of the Year for historic houses. Late June is when the garden looks its best, so we were a bit early as we visited a month before that. This walled garden is so lovely and timeless. It just really feels like you've walked back into the Edwardian era to visit this garden on a sunny afternoon. And this yew walk is particularly unique and lovely. The herbaceous borders at Miserden Garden, which are 300 feet in length, claim to be the longest privately held herbaceous borders in the UK. The oldest tree in the garden is a mulberry which dates back to the days of James I. But I wonder how many years ago this giant tree grew into this wall. It's just so fascinating. I've never seen anything quite like it. Someone said of this place that it feels like a private garden that just happens to be open to the public. And I agree. Very impressive and lovely and well done. And most of all, just peaceful. and almost a bit intimate, which is why you feel like it is a private garden. I must not know how to read a sundial. I think this one says that it's almost 2 o'clock, but it's actually after 4 p.m., so I must not know how to read it.
None of the timepieces seem to be telling accurate time today, but they still are all very lovely and interesting nonetheless.
These win the prize for the most magenta flowers I've seen in the garden today.
The village is actually owned by the estate, and the Wills family maintains its unspoilt beauty by managing the businesses and tenancies therein. It seems simply dreamy to me to live in this small, quiet village with homemade jam and fresh eggs for sale along the main road through Miserden. There are certain things you come to expect seeing in a small Cotswold village: a friendly pub, lovely homes made from Cotswold stone, an old red phone box converted into a defibrillator. But here is something I had not seen before, and I had to sneak this cheeky video of it to share with you. I spotted a family down the lane getting sheep out of their minivan. I just found it such an amusing sight. The sheep were on leashes, like they were dogs. St. Andrew's Church is of Saxon origin, but much of the original architectural detail was lost in a major Victorian restoration. I loved that it was a peaceful location to visit, just steps from the middle of the village.
My subscribers taught me that English churches usually have a yew tree or hedge in front of them. And this one has a massive yew hedge. In fact, this yew hedge tunnel looks so big, it's nearly the size of the church.
Now let's pop into the local pub in Miserden, the Carpenter's Arms, for a spot of dinner. I would show you the arms for these carpenters, but unfortunately the sign, like the Elizabeth Tower, is obscured behind scaffolding.
That dog's had a few too many at the pub.
Our English friends who came with us felt like Miserden looked a lot like Emmerdale, and Emmerdale is home to Woolpack Inn, which is what this sign on the sweets counter of the pub says. So you tell me if that's what it's all about. I've never seen the show, so I have no idea. Let's get to the mouth-watering photos of what we ate at this friendly pub. We dined on a nut roast with mixed veg, potatoes, and a Yorkshire pudding, my favorite as you know, steak and ale pie with chips and peas, a cheeseburger with chips, onion rings, and slaw, and brie bites, because I love melted cheese, served with cranberry sauce and a side salad. And yes, we also had puddings after all that. So let's take a look at those.
There is apple crumble under that ocean of custard. And this bread and butter pudding has pouring cream as well as squirty cream on top.
One other noteworthy fact about the pub in Miserden is that if you prearrange it, they will allow you to park your camper in the horse parking spot. This is one sight I love seeing when I come to Britain in early summer. The huge fields of rapeseed just glowing with bright yellow flowers. Be sure you are subscribed and click the bell so you don't miss the exciting Cotswold destinations in our upcoming videos. There's lots more to explore together. Thanks so much for watching, and do something good in the world today.